I promise you I won't be here that long tonight. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, it's been a long, long, long weekend for me. I just had the craziest weekend. I was in Milwaukee Friday, and then I had to come back, and I was back at it again Sunday, 3 services, and your boy is spent. But I have a good show for you tonight because I just had to do this show. We're gonna get on the bus today because it's gonna be a bumpy ride because I got a lot to cover. Oh, yes, we're gonna talk about some things because I don't want people to think the wrong things about me, and it's unfortunate that I have to get on the live to express some things, some wrong things about me. So, let me make sure you guys can hear me. First of all, I'm doing all this jaw jacking. Struggle streaming already. Type a 1 if you can hear me. I'm doing all this jaw jacking. I want to make sure everything is good. Type a 1 if you can hear me, then we'll go on. But I do want to get this out the way. This is going to be a bumpy. Well, I wouldn't say bumpy. Motorcade TJ said, okay, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get right into it. First things first. Jill Scott has to be by far one of my most impactful artists. She actually introduced me to a side of music that I never thought I would actually love, which is the neo soul movement. She was part of it, that whole Philly crew. And she has grown to be one of my, like I said, my favorite artists. She was, man, the songs that she has performed, they will linger on. If like it's golden. I mean, when I was in Atlanta, and you go to, if have you ever been to Atlanta, you just gonna always see so many bands, live bands in restaurants. And for me, that's great. So you get to eat, listen to great music, and that's wonderful. But all of them play Living My Life Like It's Golden. It's just crazy. It's like the thing, and is it the way? And she actually did one with what's that man name? He plays, oh man, he's a piano player. Oh God, I can't remember his name, but it's a great song called "You Always Answer My Call," whatever. It's nice. What is that man name? He's from New York or something like that. And all the musicians love him. He plays keys, he plays Rhodes. He was here in Chicago and he was phenomenal, but I can't remember this man's name. It's not even on the tip of my tongue. It's probably on the tip of my toe. But Robert Glasper, she did a song with Robert Glasper, and it's an amazing song. But anyway, I love Jill Scott even more today because she did something that I very rarely see these days with the social divide between especially men and women, particularly, thank you, Motorcake, particularly black men and black women. There's a divide there. We can't argue. So Chris Brown actually did a diss track. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm probably going to listen to it when I'm done here. But Jill Scott had something to say about it. And I want you guys to see what she said. She says, Chris Brown is amazing. How does anyone sing like that, dance, look, act, rap like that? Beyond gifted, it appears exceptional people have to go through exceptional fire. There's nothing to debate. I think women he's abused would disagree, someone said. Jill Scott says, I doubt it. My mother's ex-husband was a mean, violent human, and he could lay foundation better than anyone in my city. With what he did was meant was awe-inspiring. We got away. He got a raise and praise for his ability. God dealt with the rest. Somebody else comes and says, I love you, Jill, but he has so many domestic abuses. It's cases. It's ridiculous. We can't look past that. Jill Scott says, I love you too. I'm not here to fight anyone else's battles. Since women hear the stories, they should avoid that street. Running backwards and moving traffic makes zero sense. Therapy for every D body. I love Jill Scott for that, even more because of what she said there. Because I think we tend to conflate what somebody has done with what they're able to do. For example, with R. Kelly. I wasn't one of those people. I hope I wasn't. I don't think I was. But I don't think I was one of those people that said, okay, R. Kelly, you did this and his music should just go away. Now, I'll probably be on the fence if I'm going to continue to listen to some of those songs because they're very disturbing considering that what happened. But I'm not going to summarily dismiss the charges that he had. Now, we can debate about who should go to jail with him. That's not up for debate today. But I understand why people will take that position. However, it does not change the fact that R. Kelly is still an amazing talent. And we can't mix the two. You can still say he's an amazing talent while at the same time hold him accountable for the things he's done. I think this is what Jill Scott was conveying, and people still found the way to be negative when she's trying to be positive. I never really could understand that, how we could be so negative about everything. Michael Jackson very well may have done those things to those boys. We don't know. We really don't know the truth. We can say what he said, and here's the thing, the court said no, so we can only go by that. But we still got people thinking OJ did it, and so here we go. The court said he was not guilty. So we can look past that. Even with OJ, we can say he's still one of the greatest running backs to ever play football. But it does not change the fact that he may have done these horrible things. So I think that's what Jill was trying to say. And people just want to hold on to your past, even though we've all moved on beyond that. I don't know of many domestic abuse cases with Chris Brown. I'm not invested in Chris Brown like that to even care. But I'm pretty sure he probably has some issue like we all do. Now, I'm not up here beating on a woman's aspirations, but I can understand why people would say, okay, whatever. But we shouldn't do that to everybody. You can take the good that they have done, meanwhile, whatever. Like the most despicable person I think on earth is Donald Trump. But you have to admire his ability to rile a crowd. You have to admire his ability to do what he's done. He started a movement. You have to admire that even though we don't like the movement, we may not agree with it, but you have to admire his ability to rally people. Something no president has been able to do. Barack Obama maybe in his first election, but that's not necessarily something you should just blink at and say, oh, it's nothing. It's actually something when you can get 80 million people or something like that to vote for you. Yeah. You said Judge Jackson said OJ didn't do it. Oh, y'all gonna start already. So I wanna give a special shout out to Jill for that. You know, I love her even more for that. because she didn't have to say that. And the way, and I love the way she handled it. I think some people come to our pages, as I've learned, or not to our pages, but they try you to see how much they can get away with you. You know what I'm saying? To see how you're going to respond. And with me, it's just not a good thing. It's just not a good thing because with me, you might face something bad. To have people, when you come on my page and you try me, it's like why would you try him? Why would you try him?
You can't make this shit up.
You just cannot. Anyway, I want to do something different. Now, those of us who are dog owners, we know how close to children dogs can be. But I found a dog that's probably the most disobedient dog as it relates to this pool that you've ever seen. I don't know why I can't hear myself. There we go. I want you guys to check this out.
Buster, I'm really gonna... Buster! Come here.
Nope.
Come here. Come here, you little shit.
Nope.
Be a good boy.
No.
For once in your life.
I'm not.
Are you done?
Nope.
Come here.
Nope.
Come here. Buster Henry. Buster. Come here. Hey, that's what's my towel. Don't you dare.
Care.
Buster. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hey, leave that vacuum cleaner alone.
No.
Hey, are you ready to come in?
Nope.
Come on. Let's go. Come on. Down the pool. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go over here. Mommy dry you. Go dry him. Come over here.
Isn't it amazing how the father came in and the dog immediately was like, okay, whatever. But with the mother, he was just like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. To me, I would hope that I would never have a dog that no matter what I said, come here, come here, tomorrow. That would drive me up a wall. And the reason why this is resonating with me, because I deal with this at school with the children. You say, have a seat, have a seat, tomorrow. Like, it's just, to me, this is crazy. So I'm thinking, I'm having dog fever. So I'm thinking of getting a dog. And if this happens to me, yeah, we might have a problem. My dog lovers, hey, y'all tell me what y'all think of this. Speaking of dogs, which is why this is important, this movie, Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Tell me what you think about this movie. And I think we've covered this before, but it was a post that started a little bit of debate. This post on this lady said this. She said, well, he said she was at peace, happy, chilling, stacking money, great career, no kids, natural beauty, no BBL, edges, full, minding her own business. Then boom, here comes someone big-eared, trifling, A-word son. She told him numerous times to leave her alone. She didn't say that. Long story, Martin was 100% the villain. Oh yeah, his mama could have got it too, IG, whatever. So this was crazy because some of the comments that I saw on this post was crazy. Like, yeah, he deserved all of that. Let me explain this to you. And it's always funny to me when it's a man getting it, whether you busting out his windows or flattening his tires or keying up his car or egging his house or everything, it's always acceptable. But let a man do any of that, now he needs help, or he's crazy, or he needs to be arrested. No matter what happens to us, a woman can literally put a child on us, say, oh, it's your child. Then 10, 12 years later, we find out it's not ours. A man is not allowed to do this. Why is that? Why is it acceptable? Now, was Martin wrong in this movie? I don't think so. And I'm going to tell you why. Hear me out. Hear me out. Because he did what he did and he got with her. But he went and talked to her. And he said, hey, whatever, yada, yada, yada. He left. To me, how fast their relationship was and everything, I mean, I get it. He smashed, but I'm just saying he did go talk to her. And what I'm saying here is, in this regard, it didn't warrant everything that was done. I mean, I can understand you being upset, calling him a few B words, whatever. I still don't understand why you would do that. I can understand you being upset, right? But the stuff that she did, let's go through them, shall we? She bricked his window. She took his tires off his truck in front of the police station. She harassed him at his mama's house and then kind of went at his mom. And then this person said her mom could get it too. No, she had nothing to do with any of this. So that's another thing. She tried to pin a crime on him, a domestic abuse crime on him, and get him thrown in jail. She burned his place of business, his place of work, a place that he was trying to, make something of himself. She burned that down. Then she kidnapped him. Then she tried to KO him. So 7 things she did to this man. So you really telling me that him, in this one moment, meant all of that? If you are a person and you think that that was good enough for him to go through all of that with this woman because of this, then you are part of the problem. I don't mind telling you. I really don't mind telling you. But he ain't the only one that's going through he ain't the only one going through a whole lot of things. Because this one right here, this dude right here, no, not you, this dude, he is going through.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
It just never stops for Charles, y'all. It just never stops for Charles. This dude, I just don't really understand why he thinks this is going to work for him. This man, those of us who are musicians, we understand you get that call, right? And you get that call and they say, well, it's for a gig that you really want. It's for a nice gig, right? Now you've been presented with this gig. You're so excited. And you tell this woman, man, this is a big opportunity. Would you like to come and share? Would you like to come sit? And she tells you, yeah, let me see if my other dude would go. Wait, ma'am. Wait, say that one more time. Say that one more time. Well, I mean, I just want to make sure he. No, we don't do that over these parts. See, some of you, and I read the comments. I'm gonna post the comments. I'm gonna post the comments. Where it is. Here it is. They say her friend, he slept with her friend. He deserves that. So some dude gets on there and said, she caused it. What you thought he was gonna do? And he said somebody agreed with him. And then he said he caused it and he's paying dearly. He deserves everything she does to him. And so somebody else gets on there and says, exactly. Sure do. Exactly. My thing is this. At what point did he deserve disrespect? Because it's one thing. Yes, he did something that was horrible. Then you leave his house. You leave his house because he's paid the bills there. And people talking about he's broke anyway. He ain't too broke. She's staying there. Where's she going to live with Wendy's? Where's she going to go? You literally, and I think that's the part people forgetting. If she was in her own crib and he was there, that's one thing. You literally in this man's house. And did we forget that they smashed? They are husband and wife. She don't. And the thing is, he actually stopped. He didn't mess with this woman no more. He left that alone. That's repentance. So if he's trying to work on his family and y'all crossed that line, they smashed. So you mean to tell me he still got to endure this according to some of you? Some of you believe that this man should still be sitting up here with this woman who still wears his rings, by the way. She still wears that ring. So please make that make sense for me. Now, I understand you upset because he slept with her friend. I get it. You upset, so you leave. But if you're not going to divorce him and you're not going to leave, then don't disrespect him like that because that is disrespectful. Now, here's my problem. Let me throw this little nugget in there. How would she feel if Charles said, okay, well, since you want to go out with Maurice, I'm going to do me? Some of you say she probably wouldn't care. I think you lying. And you say, why? Because when she saw when her friend came back and told her he was with a woman, when he was making that whack song for her, when she got all upset. Do y'all remember that episode? Or do you have amnesia when it comes to that stuff? She got upset because all he had to keep telling, no, it's not like that. It's not like that. And he had to play the song and play for her because she thought he was with another woman. She got bent out of shape. But meanwhile, she's disrespecting him at every turn when it comes to this doctor. You see, y'all got amnesia when it comes to that stuff. I get it. I'm interested to see how this story goes. Now, some people don't like BMF. They don't like the show. They think this is going down. I'm actually enjoying it. I'm actually want to see. Now, I think it could be more action, but I want to see what is going. I'm still trying to figure out how this chick with the gold teeth, I'm trying to figure out how she fits in all of this, but I'm actually enjoying the show. Y'all may not be, but let's see what happens. Now, we're going to start off this one real different. We're going to start off different with this one because I'm a musician and I want to see what you think about what I'm about to show you. Just tell me. Tell me what you think about that. I mean, there were some people that said, it was too much. Some people said, it was too busy, whatever. I'm interested to know the context because, like, it just hold on, let me see. I'm all set on it. Okay. But here's my thing. I want to know what you guys think of what just happened. Me personally, I'm from a different, I'm gonna come from a different angle because I want to know, okay, Rashawn said it's too much. I want to know what the context was because I remember it was a video of us at Powerhouse where we all kind of vibed out, took solos or whatever, and Bishop was there. And somebody left on Instagram, they said it was too much. They said it was too much because Razor played, Daryl did his thing, and Razor, the one that's floating around is the one with Daryl, King of the Wild, and Razor. Those are the ones that are circulating, those solos, and because Razor went classical, kind of went off, whatever. And they was like, it's too much, it's too much. And the context was, it was the end of service. And we were actually dismissed and everything. And sometimes on first Sunday nights, we kind of go there. We play, service is pretty much over. Really, honestly, people were literally walking out when this was happening. It was like an end of service. So it wasn't like it was service. This was like the end, the very end, like dismissal. Let's go. So somebody said it was too much. So I'm thinking if this was that and people was just watching, like they do, then go for it. Then it is what it is. If this was in service and it wasn't a demonstration of something, then I personally agree with somebody said it was too much. Because anything that takes away from what we are supposed to be doing, like if we're worshiping and you do something, like musicians, we're going to do something. Don't get me wrong. We're going to do something that's dope and people are like, woo, I get that. But I'm talking about where it's a consistent thing, where you've totally taken everybody's attention off of the person that gave the gift, and we're just looking at the gift during service. It's not what the service is for, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Now, I think if you actually listen to what this young man did, it was kind of pretty dope because he was doing, and he was still on time, and he was still doing some paradiddles or whatever, all that other stuff in there. To me, it was dope. From a musician standpoint, it was off the chain. But I'm thinking if it was in context of service, and it wasn't a demonstration or anything, I think we got to be more in tune with the service. So this is not a knock on the young man. I don't know him. But having watched this, never in service, but if it's a demonstration or, you know what I'm saying, they showing, or it's your solo, because they give solos in church sometimes. If it's that, then go for it. Like I said, I would be interested to know the context of this. Bishop gave y'all the green light. Yeah, he did. He did, but it was at the end of service, though. It was definitely at the end of service. It wasn't like in the middle of the service where high praise was going on. High praise. But you know what? Some things do happen when service going on that you never expect. Sometimes people got their own agendas and they show up to your church like this.
Oh my God! Get right with God! Y'all going to hell!
Now I don't know. I don't know if that was intentional. Do y'all think that this was that they planned this to happen, or do y'all think this is a real thing? Because if this is a real thing, then there are some problems here. Number one, who are the good doorkeepers in that church? That you would allow somebody to come in, run down the middle of the aisle. That could have been anybody that could have done that. So this person dressed like Spectre Man with orange hair comes down. You have to look Spectre Man up. I'm showing my age. Comes down the middle of the aisle. And I need to show you that again, Lord.
Oh my God! Get right with God! Y'all going to hell!
Yeah, that I don't like. If this is not a skit, then we have problems. I'm gonna be honest with you, because this person just literally ran down the aisle and did this. I just don't understand that part of it for me. Now to tackle what Jeremy said, and I agree. We do, we read sometimes, we read too much into it, but for me, honestly, it's a difference between the organ doing it and the drum doing it. The organ got its place, but the drummer going for a good 16 bars, that could be a little bit much. That could be a little bit much. It could be distracting. I can be honest. Like Russell used to do that when he played at Powerhouse and drove me crazy. Not little Russell no more. He's big Russ now. But Russell Harris is a great drummer. That dude can play drums. But he used to do this thing, used to drive me crazy. I'd be like, come on, bro. And I think knowing Russ, he knew that, used to get under my skin. And he was like, I don't care. I'm still going to do it. He like that little dog. Russ, don't do that. Don't do that. Not calling Russ a dog. That's my bro. So don't do that. Y'all know how messy y'all are. Y'all can be real messy. Y'all messy. What I meant is, I can say, Russ, don't do that. I'm doing it anyway. And so he used to go, and I'd be like, oh God. Oh God. Diamond do it too, though. Diamond be doing that junk too. And it's cool. But I mean, I think everything has its place. Everything has its place. I think it was real. Who plans to send a guy down the aisle wrapped in plastic? That's what that was, plastic wrap. So there is a problem here. If he would have done that at my church, oh God, I feel pain thinking about the beatdown he would have received. It would have been epic too. They wouldn't have spared no expense on him. You come down the middle aisle like that, nah, yeah, you would have got it. And not in a good way. I promise you wouldn't have got it in a good way. Speaking of getting in a good way, check this out. God, super duper uber balls. Your pastor doing that's a huge red flag for me. I'm not going, nah. bruh. Bruh. What in the world? I'm trying to figure out what in the world was. I mean, he had a big grasp of it. Like, bro, what in the world is going on? I'm like, dude, you done lost your mind. Come on. Then, thank you. Wait, hold on. Then he goes inside.
Hold up.
He went inside his pants, y'all. So he was digging for his dingling. He was digging for his dingling. His dingling.
It's dangling. His dangling.
His dingling. His dingling. He was digging for his dingling. I had to do all the voiceovers. Like, what were you doing, sir? What were you digging for? I hope you found it. I really hope he found what he was looking for. Because I just get frustrated by what we see, in church sometimes. Like, I mean, these are brothers and sisters overseas, so we know what they do. We know what they do. But it's still, you just don't dig in this man's pants like that. You just don't dig in his pants. You just don't. Like, if this would have been your church, type in the comment section what you would have done if this was your church. If this was your church, what would you have done? Because I'm sitting up here trying to figure this one out. This is confusing to me. So I'm sitting up here trying to wreck my brain. What was going on with this man dingling that made him feel like he needed to go down his pants? I'm still trying to figure that one out. He was setting up for tonight. You know what, TJ? TJ said he was digging for tonight. Well, wait, what was the nightcap, though? I wanted to know what the nightcap was. I got natural reactions. I'm swinging from the right. First of all, turn the cameras off. You know what I'm saying? But thank you. Somebody said turn the cameras off. That's what Maurice said. Yeah, me personally, if I'm playing at that service, I'm going home. Now, my band members know I will jump up in a minute. I'm leaving at that point. It's what could be done? What could be done there? But see, that's not the most disturbing thing I've seen. Now, again, like I said earlier, context is everything. We just don't know what the context is unless you go back and watch the whole thing. But people like musicians, people like preachers and praise and worship leaders, people that mount are the Lakers winning this game? People that mount the pulpit in any way, shape, or form, we have to be careful because those little moments, they turn into big moments, right? So if you are caught in a very, very, very questionable situation and it circulates around the internet, it will end up over here. And Mike Todd has found his way to Preachers Gone Wild yet again because of this.
Else to comfort me. What used to comfort me doesn't work anymore.
Hey, could somebody please wait, I'm going back. What the is this on his face? What the is this on his face? Do y'all know what this look like? Do y'all really want to know what this look like? Y'all really?
Pause.
It don't look good. This is what I'm talking about. It's moments like this. It's moments like this that get you on this show. And we looking at it. Now, I think Mike Todd has a great way to bring points. I actually, like I said before, we're going to do a live where we just talk about nothing. The Preachers Gone Wild will just be about illustrations, how people go about doing it. Some people going to make it. Some people not. But he's one. But we're going to go through and show these illustrations. We're going to go through and say, that's okay, but this is too much. But what's going on with this? What's going on with this? This looks bad, but it gets worse.
What used to comfort me doesn't work anymore. some condoms, some lotion.
Now, put your children in bed real quick because they don't need to watch this part because I'm about to be that person. My shirt says I'm him, and I am. I'm about to do this right now. Please explain to me, ladies and gentlemen, who needs condoms when you got lotion? The purpose of lotion is for you to please yourself. Who puts on a condom when you got lotion? And I'm sorry for the adults in the room. I don't know too many people talking about being with their women, and oh God, oh sweet Jesus, mother of God. I just had a bad thought. I just had a really bad thought. Yo, if you got lotion and a condom, that's not going in the vagina, sir. That's not go. Oh no! This show has derailed. It has derailed. It has derailed. Oh God, it has derailed. This show has derailed. I didn't plan for that to happen. It just literally just in my head. You got condoms and lotion. I don't know any women ever that will ever say you're going to put lotion there. In the holiest of holies, you don't need lotion. So if you got condoms and you got lotion, now had he said lotions and tissues, we know what that means. We've seen, what's that, American Pie? We've seen that. We know what that means. We've seen enough movies, and some of us experienced it full blast. No judgment here. I don't judge you. So we know lotion tissue, but we don't know lotion condoms. You know what? She said maybe his wee-wee was ashy. You said I'm gonna go exit famo. He's going to the exit famo. I know that's right, TJ. That's the part that I'm tripping on. Like the stuff that we do in church, the stuff that we sit through, it's like real side-eye situation. So when I saw that, I was like, dude, what are we doing here? And I get it. I mean, you trying to make an illustration. I'm thinking he's talking about gluttonous because some of us, when we are depressed, we're going through it, we eat a lot. But the looking on that stuff on his face, it was nah. And then immediately, right after that, you go straight to condoms. God dang it! You can't make this shift up. You just cannot. I'm gonna get it together one day, Jesus. Whew. All right, I'm back. Derek's back now. Derek is back now. But that just sent me, y'all. That just sent me. I mean. Whew, I'm sorry, Mike Ty, but you got to hold this L on that one. I mean, I love you from the love of Jesus, but yeah, you pretty much, y'all know how you could just pretty much walk into something like that. Yeah, that was it. That was it. But anyway, I saw the most disturbing thing. It didn't happen in church, but it was preachers actually. And one of the things that I've seen over time was how some pastors, thank God, not the ones I serve under, but how they treat their wives. And they marry these women, and a lot of these wives, they were there when you had 2 members, when you had no members, when you was driving a beat up Rutabaga and you had to get out and push before it could start. They were there with you through the grind. And I see some of these pastors, the way they treat their wives, the way they step out on their wives, the way when nobody wanted them because they was a storefront pastor. But the second they became mega churches, now everybody wants them and they decide to treat their wives that was there with them in the beginning like trash. This woman sacrificed, because women do sacrifice for us, fellas. When we are on our grind, some of them actually hold the fort while we're grinding. Now, I'm not an advocate of that. I believe a man should come into that situation already ready to handle the family, but things do happen. And those women get out here and hold it down for us, fellas. Let's keep it real. Those women, some of them go out and get jobs. Some of them go out and make more money than we did. And they keep us afloat. And some of you trifling, you don't even cook and do the jobs because now you at home with your beer belly, with your hand down looking like Al Bundy, and you expect her to go to work and then come home and cook. We shouldn't do that. That's horrible. If that woman's holding you down, going out there making that money, the least your sorry aspiration can do is cook and clean and take care of the house for her, because the roles have reversed. Now, I'm an advocate of a man providing. I'm an advocate of that. At the bare minimum, pay the bills in the house. But there are some women out here, plenty of them, actually, they're a dying breed, because the new breed think we don't need to go there right now. But yeah, that will hold the fort for you. But I saw this preacher say something that I'm going to deal with right now, and it was the most disturbing thing I've ever heard. Hopefully, Facebook don't light me up because I did borrow, but this is commentary. So let's see what happens. Let's go.
If you were getting on a jet, okay, and you're going from, say, New York to LA, yes, and both of you walk on the jet, and there was only one first class seat, and somebody had to go to coach, somebody had to sit in first. Okay. How would you arrange that? Are you asking me that? Yeah. Brother, if I was on a desert island.
Now, here's my thing. You can always tell. I'm going to play it again because I want you to see me while I say this. When somebody presents something to you and you take what they said, instead of answering that, and you bring up another point, then you go at that point and say, see, I won the argument. I've rebutted what you said. That is not you winning the argument. That is called a straw man. I said this before. It's called a straw man argument. It's a fallacy. It's fallacious, which means it's not acceptable. If you were in a debate club, you would lose. That's a fallacy. You cannot present something that somebody has not said, argue that point, because somebody did that to me, and I'm going to get to that later. I hope you here to watch it, because I'm going there. I'm him. You chose the wrong one. But anyway, this dude decides to go another route. But I want y'all to hear what happened when he did. I'm going to start over. Here we go.
If you were getting on a jet, okay, and you're going from, say, New York to LA, yes, and both of you walk on the jet, and there was only one first class seat, and somebody had to go to coach, somebody had to sit in first. Okay. How would you arrange that? Are you asking me that? Yeah. Brother, if I was on a desert island and it wasn't nothing but a box of peanuts. No, I didn't ask you. Do you think I'm giving her a whole box of peanuts? You would go first.
Dietrich Hatton's face was actually priceless. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? We ain't talking about desert peanuts. Men, I'm speaking to you right now. Always just say it. Answer it. Answer it. When you are asked a question, just answer it. Just answer it. Answer the question. That's it. Just say it. Don't circle around it. Don't circumvent. Don't prevaricate. Answer it.
Class and put your wife in coach. Yeah, she don't mind saying coach. I do. I can't sit up there like sardines.
It's not whether she minds. It's inappropriate for a man to sit in first class and put his wife in the back.
Claustrophobia. That's not how Christ loved the church, man. That's not exemplifying Christ's love.
So there you go. And my thing is this. When I saw it, it went long. You could go watch it. It was disturbing. If I'm flying first class and there's only one first class ticket, it's absolutely a no-brainer for me. Whether I got claustrophobia, whether I'm sitting next to a dude that's got like 8 necks and he just all encompassing, just sitting right in the middle, taking over mine and the other person, because I flew like that before. I was literally on the window like this, and this ogre tag was literally sitting up here, because the people in the middle of the plane, they feel like they own those armrests. They feel like they own those. So this dude was like, when I tell you he was big, he was like maybe a morsel of chocolate away from my 600-pound life. He was big. He had a back on him. His back was big, and he took over my seat and the lady's seat on the other side of the aisle seat. I think this was the last time I actually really wanted to sit window seat. Like right now, I try to get the aisle seat as much as possible. Unless there's nothing else open, then I try to get a window seat over the middle seat. But this dude literally had me on the window like this. I'm looking down like, man, this is crazy. It was the most uncomfortable trip. And we went to Texas. So that wasn't no flyer like to St. Louis from Chicago or Detroit or even to Philly. This was Texas. So I was literally scrunched up with this big ogre dude. So even in that, if I had a choice and my wife was in first class, I would risk sitting next to King Kong Bundy again for my wife to be in first class. What happened to us as men where we treat our women like this? And it was a no-brainer. Well, she can go sit in coach. What? Unbelievable. Unacceptable. And this is somebody's pastor. So I don't even want to know what the men in your church are doing. I don't even want to know. Because have you ever noticed that whatever spirit that pastor has, it filters down to the members? So if the pastor is a whore, most of the men in the church going to be whores. If the pastor is struggling with some other thing, everybody else gonna struggle with it. If he has a problem where he can control what he says to people, he's nasty, he's mean, he's sarcastic, he's all of these things, his membership is gonna show it. They're gonna show it until they reach the right person. Because with me,
The more you around, the more you're going to find out.
I'm not that person. Don't yell at me. Don't do none of that because it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be one. I'm him. Don't do it. I like to think he was just being performative. Don't think he thought it. Yeah. Nah, well, I hope not. But I mean, I'm not gonna be like that at the expense of my woman, though. I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying, bro. I do. But I just don't think that, I don't want her to be the blunt of that. I find it despicable that you would even think that would be okay to say. Then you try with this desert bullshit. Nobody care about desert peanuts. I've never had peanuts in the desert. I had water. I'm going to drink water. And if you got a good wife, well, shut up, Derek. It's too far. No. No, we're not going there. Right. Vicky said it wasn't time to perform. Christian says his wife's face was it was priceless. And I could tell, you could kind of see her be like, dang. I wouldn't want my wife to feel like that. The woman I took vows to should not feel like that. That was part of your vows. You should honor and respect her. That should be in your vows. And part of a man honoring his woman, you treat her. I mean, I can't imagine how that would hurt my wife if I did that. Like, I don't even care, because in that case, she probably gonna be down in the back somewhere. Like, I can see it maybe if he said, if first class, let's say for instance, it's like 1A, E right here, and then she's right there behind me, first row in coach. It's still bad, but you could probably be like, all right, man, whatever. Let me be like Mike Taylor. All right, man, that's the way Mike used to talk. Yeah, man, he was so cool and laid back with it. I can see that. Maybe. Not me. I'm going to sit and coach still. You got the leg room. And I think that's a selfish way to think. But people continue to go to their churches. I bet he not getting after that. He probably wasn't. But not to put this out here, he probably wouldn't care either. He probably got somewhere else he can go. And you know what's going to happen when he get with that girl. But anyway, yeah, that was a bit much for me. That set me off, because I only want to treat my wife good. my wife would be treated good. But yeah, it started a conversation with that I couldn't even get around in that whole post. But it was another thing that happened, and I'm going to talk about it. And then we made good time. We made good time. I'm almost done. I ain't even been on here, what, 50 minutes? So give me 20 minutes and we're done. So over the weekend, it was a discussion about a certain basketball player, and it sparked a conversation about the WNBA and the NBA. And it started a whole conversation, and people would call them men sexist, calling them misogynists and everything else. I never thought I'd be part of that conversation to be called that. The Lakers are up 15 at the half. Well, good. I don't care as long as they make my parlay, because your boy been struggling on FanDuel this week. Oh, these players can't get it. And the one thing that when I don't go for these dudes to get rebounds, they all went over on their rebounds. The dudes that I always choose to get rebounds, they went over today. But Saturday, they couldn't do nothing right. You can't make this up. But anyway, it started the conversation about women's basketball and men's basketball, particularly the NBA and the WNBA. And I'm kind of getting tired of this conversation because it's showing me people's inability to research and know before they start going off, because we've been hearing, why do men get paid more than women? We've been hearing this all day. And this is not a gender thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a gender thing. Let me get more centered. Thank you. This is not a gender thing. This has nothing to do with men versus women. This has something to do with this thing called money. Money. This is all it's about. And when it comes to money, there is no black, there's no white, there's no purple, there's no man, there's no woman, there's no gay, there's no straight. It's about money, pockets, cash. And so people are making this into a gender thing, and it's not. It has nothing to do with men making more than women. It's about money. It's about money. And so when men try to tell this to certain groups of women, we're always called misogynists, which is a word I wish you freaking would retire. Please retire that word, because every man is not a misogynist. There are some men that feel the way that they feel, but love women. That just because he has a thought or an opinion does not make him make him a misogynist. I had to do a scratch to reset myself. But you never heard the word misandrist, which is what some of you demonstrate yourself to be. The hatred of men. You have a disdain for men. Your whole post is about men, but it's okay. Get in line. We've been dealing with this for almost 50 years, so we're okay with that. But you're not used to men having an opinion about women, even if it's legit opinion. This is about money. And so if we say women's basketball is trash, it's not because it's a woman. The league is trash. If they feel that way, I happen to watch the WNBA. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fanatic, but if the game is on, I will enjoy a game. I will watch it. I will watch it. But the WNBA has been suffering. In fact, the league has been losing money since the very beginning. They've been losing money. Losing. The first year when it came out, there was some interest. But it steeply, if you go look at the graph, it went downhill quick. And they've been struggling. Part of the reason why they have been struggling is because the league lacked a superstar that demanded the attention of everyone. Everyone. There were some superstars. There were some top tier players. Nobody will ever say some of those players that played were not top tier. You don't know basketball if you say that. As far as women's basketball goes, these were the elite. They were the elite. But they failed to have a superstar. Now, they had stars, Some of them still enjoy some credibility today. Some of them, like Candace Parker, she's actually there. What's going on? Joe Embiid struggled, whatever. But yeah, Candace Parker, she's an analyst now. Why? You don't think they give that to weak basketball players? They can play, they can ball. But there's one person who actually came in and just destroyed all of that. That's Caitlin Clark. And Angela Reese. Angel Reese, I think that's her name. I don't call her Angela. But this woman has come into the league, and what makes her, she's a superstar now. We have to wait before she's even dribbled a basketball, played 1 second of professional women's basketball. She is elite now as far as star. She comes in. When she got drafted by Indiana, they immediately started selling tickets high, like crazy. They started selling tickets. Why? Because this is a superstar. She's one of the only persons. This woman comes in, already has a Nike shoe deal, already. And the thing is, it's very high. It's $28 million. That's what her Nike deal is. $28 million for this woman that's coming to the league. She's coming in to the league. Why? Because women's professional basketball needed a star. Her and Reese and the other women that came out this draft class was so good. They are the Larry Bird and the Magic Johnson of this league. And you have to know basketball. That's not me saying the men were better. You need to understand what I'm saying to you. Those men brought that level of star to the league. Yes, they had Kareem. Yes, they had these other people. But when Bird and Bird and Magic came into the league, they already had a large following. They had publicity behind them. They were expecting great things for them, and they lived up to it. And because of them, the league was saved. Because of them, then came Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan came after. Dr. J came later. But it was Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. The ABA and the NBA merged in 76? So you're talking about 3 years. 3 years. And you want to know why? You want to know why? Because professional sports, not amateur sports, college is amateur. Professional sports, most of the people that watch sports are not avid basketball watchers. They don't care about the sport like that, but they care about the stars. They care about the stars. Because if people cared about the game like that, when LeBron went jumping around the league, they would have stayed at Cleveland. They would have stayed in Miami. They would have stayed at Cleveland again, and then they would have stayed in LA after he leaves. No, they jump around with him from team to team because it's about the stars. It's always been about the stars since the 80s. And the NBA understood that. So they stopped thinking about basketball. In fact, they changed the league rules to appease the stars. This is why. So with star power comes viewership. No, with star powers come ticket sales. From ticket sales come viewership. From viewership comes sponsorship. From sponsorship becomes TV deals. From TV deals come the big money. You need to understand that. It's not about the game on a professional level. Me as a basketball purist, I love the game. All the way down to its basic. I'm not in love with what I see in the NBA. I just don't get with 7'3" dudes shooting threes. I never will get with that. But this is not a gender war. This is about money. And I hate to be the one to tell you the NBA revenue. Let's look at this year. The NBA this year, been around a while. It's been around a while, been around longer. But the NBA, they revenue this year was $10.58 billion. Billion. That was in 2023, right? The WNBA, on the other hand, has been around a while too, but their revenue wasn't as high as the NBA. In fact, it was only $200 million. So you're talking about a percent change of roughly 197%. That's crazy. That's a high percentage change. So you want to say why NBA players make more money because they have higher revenue. With higher revenue, they can make more money. You got a low revenue and they have not made a profit. Last year was a pretty good one. And here's the thing, with their deal, they have to make 3 years in a row that they have of 20% revenue growth. 3 years. It has to be 3. I think it's 3. And then they can receive their revenue sharing. This is why they haven't been making money. They haven't made anybody watch. Now, I was attacked because I brought these points out. And I said that Caitlin and Reese and the other girls that came out in the draft, they are going to bring attention to the league in a way that the other ones could not. I never said that they were not top tier players. They are great players, but nobody gives a falcon about their skill like that if they don't have people that want to come and see them play. People want to see Caitlin. People actually want to see Reese. Now, I know Reese the girl from LSU, she got a bad rap or whatever. And it was funny when Caitlin was doing all the trash talking, nobody had nothing to say. But when Reese started trash talking, now they want to make her a bad girl. Go figure. I wonder why that is. But let me tell you something, and I'm going to spin this off of just a little bit. I believe, and my friend was talking about it earlier, my friend told me that Reese is her game is more translatable to the WNBA than Caitlin. I disagree, but he made a good point. Reese is a walking double-double. She's going to get double-doubles every night. And you can't, and yeah, that's kind of tough. She going to be in there handling business. Caitlin proves she can be stopped. She can be stopped. Guard her to the left, make her go left, take her away from her shooting hand, and put defense on her, really crowd her. Play under the screens, bump her up a little bit, make her go to the hole. She's not the fastest girl in the world, so make her go to the hole. She's not athletic, so then your bigs can pretty much come and deal with her. They did a very good job with that in the championship game, which is one of the reasons why they won. Well, she scored her points, but look how many times she had to shoot. She was off her game in that game. And the WNBA, that's a whole nother class. That's the elite. That's the elite league. So everybody's going to focus in on you. So that's a good point. Yeah, he said Reese is going to handle business. Yeah. And they can make more with endorsements. That's what her Nike deal is. Her Nike deal. So somebody decided, when I was bringing up this thing about the drafts, and that was my only point. I was just saying with the drafts, they're going to bring that attention. It's going to bring more money. I never said that these players were not top tier. I hate when people put words in my mouth. I'm very articulate. I can say what I want to say. If I'm mocking them, then I will mock them. It will be so ubiquitous, you, a blind man, can see it. But you decided to leave a post. And one thing I don't like, I hate when people leave posts about me and don't tag me. Don't say you. Because when you come for somebody like that, everybody else might say, oh, well, I'm going to let it go. But I'm him. I'm not that person. I'm him. I'm going to come for you and I'm going to call you up on it. Because she left this post and I was kind of offended because I thought we was having a great debate about it. But then you decide to do this. Good morning to everybody except those who believe the WNBA hasn't had top tier until this draft class. If you don't like watching women play, just say that. Now, how the Falcon we get here? I never said that they didn't have top tier until this draft. I didn't say that this draft was top tier. I say that they are superstars because they bring in something that none of those other people brought in. And that is a fan base that followed them from college. A big fan base. Now, I think Candace had one. It was a decent one, but it wasn't nowhere near like Reese and like Caitlin. Mainly Caitlin. Caitlin came with a whole boatload. She came with a boatload. That game, that championship game, had more ratings than even the men. And they didn't care nothing about the game. They wanted to see what Caitlin was going to do. They wanted to see what she was going to do. Some of them wanted to see South Carolina win. But here's the thing, South Carolina won. Name the commercial that you saw them on. They very rarely even talked about them. They talked about Caitlin the whole freaking time, how she lost. That should tell you everything you need to know. They talked about how Caitlin lost and not how South Carolina won. That should tell you how big her name is. So you know I'm going to respond. And I went and said mine. I said, next time, tag me. For the record, I like watching women basketball. I bet I know more women players than you do. Don't assume, ma'am. Ask me. Now, that was me being the nice Derek. But I was pissed off because I don't like that. We were having a conversation in one post, and you decided to take the coward way out and leave a post about me and then being indirect with that passive-aggressive Facebook crap. Don't do that. That's disrespectful because you could have said that to me, and you meant to make a shot because you want to have your audience rile up behind you, not thinking that I'm going to come back. But I am going to come back because that's disrespectful. You didn't have to do that. We were having a great conversation, but you decided to do this. So we are here. The reason why, if I didn't watch women's basketball, which I do, I don't watch professional sports for the sport per se. I watch professional sports for entertainment. That's what I watch them for. Because if you ever watch the NBA game, you'll see they ain't really playing defense. They probably playing a little bit now. The Lakers killing these dudes. This is crazy. This is crazy. But they don't play that much defense. They lazy going around screens. You set a pick and roll. They like, yeah, I'll get you tomorrow. I ain't even going. Really, if you watch these professionals play the pick and roll, back in the day, they would play it effectively on defense. Either you gonna show hard, pause. Why wouldn't you show hard if it's a three-pointer shooter? Why wouldn't you show hard? Why would you play under it? You show. If I'm gonna be the person to pick you up, or even if I'm gonna stay with my man, you supposed to show. You make them make a couple of dribbles away. Take them out their rhythm so your man can catch up to them. They don't do that. That's why I don't watch the NBA I watch it for entertainment. They lackluster getting back on defense. They all-star games that's horrible. But I watch it for the highlights, the dunks, the threes, and all that, and the superstars. That's why you watch professional sports, just like the WWE. Women's WNBA is the same. But they didn't have stars like that, like Caitlin. Because in the NBA, you may get some ragtag crazy stuff like this play that just happened the other day. LeBron shooting the three and it goes missing the world. But in the WNBA, it's like this all the time. They hitting balls on top of the backboards, missing wide open layups, just craziness going on. I don't watch the game for nothing else but to be entertained. Because if I'm watching it for a purist standpoint, I'm going to be ticked off. But I do watch college basketball, women's basketball. Why? Because whereas women, where they lack in ability as far as to dunk and to jump high, and the NBA game is faster, or the boys' college basketball is faster. It's faster, but they have tenacity. They have competitiveness. They play hard every play. They actually care if they win or lose. Watching women's college basketball is very, very therapeutic if you want to see them compete. And you got teams like your Baylors, your UConns, your Tennessees back in the day. You got South Carolina now. You got Notre Dame. You got Old Dominion. You got all these schools that have legacies in women's basketball. And when they play, they take it seriously. They don't want to lose to those teams. I think Louisville's coming along. Well, no, not now. But they used to be. Louisville used to be another one. But definitely Tennessee, because Pat Summitt was there. So you probably don't know who Pat Summitt is. I do. Because he was one of my favorite coaches in women's basketball. So you don't know what you're talking about. I watch women basketball. I know who Rebecca Lobo is. I know who she is. I know who Sue Bird is. I know who Shamika Holtzclaw is. All of these players. I know Dawn Staley. She didn't just coach She played in the WNBA. I know this was one of my favorite point guards because I was a point guard. So I loved the point guards. This is Dawn Staley when she played. We all know Lisa Leslie. We know her. We know Cheryl. Now, Cheryl Miller. You probably don't even know her. This was probably the best women's basketball player ever, in my opinion. She was the best. Cheryl Swoops. You had, what's that other, Cynthia Cooper. You see what I'm saying? You had some players. You even got Brittany Griner. She was decent. Diane Taurasi, that girl, she was decent. You got good players in the WNBA, but you wouldn't sell out a ticket with none of them. Now, this one shows, yeah, she was dope. Joanna, man. It was one girl that used to play for Houston that had big lips. I liked her too. And it wasn't because she had big lips. I just liked the fact that she was aggressive. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I remember her. She was a baller. But I know these people. I also know one especially. This woman right here, name is Okisha Howard. Okisha Howard played for the Mystics. And the thing is, I know Keisha Howard personally. In fact, she's actually a coach for girls basketball here in Hammond. This is a friend of mine, and we talk women's, girls basketball all the time. So these are people that I know. I follow women's basketball. I love the game of basketball, regardless of who's playing it. I don't care that it's a woman's playing it or a man's playing it. And I think it goes to this false perception of me because I have an opinion on certain things in relationships and men that I've spoken to. It's the thought, the process that, oh, you're misogynistic or you're sexist, because men are not allowed to have opinions in 2024 because this is what we're going to be labeled. But you got the wrong one, ma'am. I'm not a misogynist. I love women. In fact, one of the most capable women I know on earth is my boss. I know no woman that I've worked with no person that I work with that's more capable than her. I trust this woman to run any business that she puts her hand to. I would follow her leadership no matter what because she's proven herself to be that type of leader. And there's nothing I wouldn't do for my boss outside of work. This woman gets it done for real. So I have nothing but respect for her. If a woman is qualified to do something, there is nothing I'm going to say. A misogynist, no matter what, will say a woman can't do better than me, no matter what it is. That's not me. This woman is proving herself a leader. Now, I'm a natural born leader, and I'm telling you, she's a leader. She's a leader. I don't mind that. I'm not sexist. That's stupid to say because I feel a certain way that I want my woman to be for me and my family. I'm sexist. I'm misogynistic. That's foolish talk. And being as though you never had a conversation with me one-on-one, it's even more foolish because I would have told you there are certain things that I would only trust to a woman. But there are certain things I would only trust to a man. I do believe in gender roles. And I promise you, if I was to line up 100 women and ask them, I want to pay all the bills in the house, are you okay with that? All of them would say yes. If I say, as a man, I want to pay, heterosexual women, of course, I would say, I'm going to pay all the bills in the house. A great percentage of them would say, I'm okay with that. I don't think any of them would ever say, oh, no, that's sexist. I want to pay more and you stay at home. That's bullshit. They're not going to do that. And it's funny, it's sexist when I say, well, since I'm paying the bills, could you, cook, you want to take care of the house. Now that's sexist. But you didn't have a problem when I said, as a man, I want to pay the bills. It seems like it's like a double standard here. And men, we're not allowed to say nothing. If I voice an opinion to the latter, or if I say that's not fair, that does not make me misogynistic. And so what you do, you pile on a whole lot of bullshit that doesn't apply to me. Like I don't like watching women basketball or I don't like watching women play. That's bullshit. That's something that feeds into this feminist BS that they fed you. That's not true. Every man does not hate women. Some of us want women. We just want better women for us. And I don't want a woman whose dick is bigger than mine. It's big as mine, Jesus Christ. Bigger than mine. I don't want no masculine woman. And if I say that, that doesn't make me sexist. What man wants his woman to act like a man? If I'm a man and I want my woman to act like a woman, if I want a woman to act like a man, why would I want a counterfeit? Why not just be gay? Why not just be gay? So if I say that, that doesn't make me sexist. Thank you, Nina. She has wonderful daughters. I go to their games. Now, her youngest daughter, I call her, look, I hope she don't mind me saying it, but I call her a dog. And the reason why I say a dog, this girl had a triple-double. And her triple-double, listen, it was rebounds, but the other was in blocks. They couldn't get a shot off on her. She's fast. She can jump out the gym. And she got a raw ability. And it's being cultivated. And she going to be one. We going to hear about her. She might be the next one that we see that's getting shoe deals worth $1 million. She got another daughter that plays. I love her to death. So don't act like I don't watch women's basketball. That's foolish talk. And I think we should stop doing that. Stop labeling people by what you misunderstand that they say. Have a conversation with them, talk to them about what they like, and have an understanding before you start labeling people. I don't label people 304s without having a conversation unless you've shown yourself to be. Now, if I'm reading you with this dude, like it turns into a song with the dudes that you've been with, and I'm dancing and this line going long, then you can't get mad at that. Especially since y'all broadcast y'all business so much. Y'all broadcast y'all business so much so everybody know your business. So you can't get mad at people calling you 304. But I hated that because so many people in my life that are women that I have love and respect for, not because they do for me or whatever, but because I have a respect for what they do. I have respect for their leadership. I have respect for their ability to get stuff done. I have respect for them, period. I would never. Most of the people that have the greatest influence on me, I'm with men and I talk to men and I gravitate to men, but I have conversations with these women too. And I do listen to them and I ask them for advice in leadership and they give it to me. So for you to sit up and call me misogynist and sexist is foolish. Foolish. And I'm not going to be part of your agenda. So before you ask, ask me. Thank you.